What the fuck is going on? Welcome to Food, Fitness, Family. Big Daddy Blankenship with the food back in me, feeling good. Mr. Beautiful, GQ, beach model, whatever you want to call him, Marcus. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. You mentioned it that you got food back in you, and you can definitely
Yeah.
tell. I love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Love it. Don't seem dead.
I am feeling fat today. So we will go there, but your bright pearly whites, they make me feel better. So
I wish.
how was your seven
Good
days,
stuff,
man?
man. 7 days are pretty solid. What do we record on? We recorded on last
Last
Friday. Just trying to
Friday.
think
Was it
about
Friday? Yeah.
what's all happened between then. Chiefs. It was the only time I talked about the Chiefs leading into the weekend, and we just played like dog trash. It was awful. Hopefully, this coming Sunday is going to be a little bit better with that. Aside from that, though, it was a good weekend. I can't even think about what we did. Then we binge watched that Wednesday.
Oh, so good.
Oh
Oh,
my! Have you watched it all yet?
dude, I'm obsessed with it. My entire
So good.
IG reels is just that dance, and I gotta watch it.
Oh yeah, she did crush the dance. Yeah, only eight
And
episodes.
yeah.
Bullshit. I want. Give me 20 episodes.
Well, I mean, they're gonna have another season.
Of
Yeah, Tim
course.
Tim
But now we
Burton
got
crushed
now we
it.
got to wait at least a year.
Yeah, Tim Burton crushed it. She's hot. She crushed it. I mean, it was good.
Yeah. She definitely grew on you throughout the 8 episodes. It was good stuff. Have you ever watched that Sabrina on Netflix? It's like that.
No.
Okay, I got it. It's similar. It's very very similar. We
Okay.
we like and there's like 3 seasons to it. I haven't heard as
Okay.
many people talking about it, but if you like Wednesday, I feel like it's very similar in a lot
Yeah,
of ways. But
I did watch the original Adams Family last night. I'm gonna watch the Adams Family
there you
Values,
go.
I think, tonight. So
Nice. I haven't watched any of those. I knew what
they're
Wednesday
good. Good.
was from, but no. Aside from that, though, chill weekend. Again, I can't really think about a whole lot. Grandma Nicole did lose her grandma. I didn't say that on the last podcast. I knew before we recorded it, but just wanted her to kind of have her space to be able to say that. So we have the funeral on Friday, so that's obviously been tough, spending
Yeah.
with
Sorry
family
about
and stuff
that.
like
Yeah.
that. It's all right. Definitely. I mean, a big loss of hers. It's been really tough, but just happy I can kind of be there through with it. But aside from that, though, that was a tough thing, but everything else is going well. Had a couple of client consult calls. Really, it seems like a lot of people, they're just ready to start after Christmas or after New Year's, and that makes sense. I mean, we're 2 or 3 weeks away from
Yeah.
those things. Why add that onto your plate during the hecticness of the next few weeks? I'm big on not waiting, especially if it's like November time. But if we're 2 weeks away, let's just go ahead and get started after the New Year. A clean slate, so I'm excited to get those guys going. Aside
Heck
from
yeah.
that, everything's going good. Training's been going great. Just started a little mini cut that we've kind of talked about for Olympia. Just really like 8-day cut essentially to
Yeah.
pull
You're
off
already
a little
pretty
bit
lean, so
pull off a little excess weight. The past
really
week
just
has been
water.
yeah, well, the past like week and a half, like really since Thanksgiving, I've been lazy with tracking my macros, which is not like me. And really, my food has been fairly consistent, but like I've allowed myself like more freedom with it without actually tracking. So I know I've been over. My water has been under a little bit more than usual. Digestion has been off a little bit in the mornings, and it all makes sense. It's one domino
Yeah.
after another. So once I locked in, I added avocado into my diet plan this week as well, on top of psyllium husk and some other things, and everything has been smooth. I
Dope.
feel so much better just 2 or 3 days locked back in. But anyway, enough about me. How was your 7 days?
Dude, I had a crazy 7 days, lots of ups and downs, but way more ups and downs. I left, let's see, yeah, we recorded Friday. I left Friday afternoon. I went to Arkansas for the weekend, visited my buddy Tyler, who owns Rough House Refurbish. If you guys need equipment, definitely hit him up on Instagram. Tell him that Caleb sent you. I got to see the whole ins and outs, how they work. I crashed on his couch all weekend, got the VIP treatment. You know what I mean? He bought all my meals.
Nice.
I got to train in his gym, which was really sick. And then we really went down to talk about equipment, but man, we just had so much fun hanging out that we didn't talk about equipment until God, I don't know, like Saturday at midnight when I left at like Sunday at like 8 a.m. So, it was nice, man. We got to really bro out. We had never really met, just talked a lot over the phone, and we're a lot alike, and it's nice to see. And we Friday and Saturday night, I think we stayed up till like midnight, 1 o'clock, just having some Crown and Diet Mountain Dew, Crown Apple and Diet Mountain Dew. It was really good. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
had some
yeah.
drinks and just talked business, life.
When was the last time you drank a little bit
Well, last Monday at the game, but
at the
like,
game?
yeah, but I just had a couple. But yeah, other than that, May.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my digestion's thrown off a little bit from the travel, the drinking, and stuff like that. But man, it was great to really like make that connection,
Mhm.
especially business wise. You don't. I feel like a lot of times you don't meet a lot of like great people when you do business. So
Yeah.
that I
That's
really
true.
enjoyed that. Got home. Yeah, I got brought a new stairmaster for the gym. One of my buddies was helping me unload it, tore his bicep, so I felt awful. But he's getting surgery next week. You know, I signed up a new client on my way back from Arkansas. I think I have 3 consults lined up for next week. Yeah, man. So just cranking it. The house cleaners came today. I know, super bougie, but we have them come in once a month and just kind of deep clean it. Just it's just nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It takes
of course. Yeah.
takes takes stress off of Tatiana.
Mhm.
I'm dirty, Max is dirty, so
Mhm.
it
Well, it's
really
it's nice
helps.
because they're usually they're gonna do a deeper clean than what
Yeah.
you and I
Oh,
would go do.
yeah. 100%.
I'll hit the surface, but not go super deep.
Yeah, it's worth the money. Then Tatiana's dad flies into town tomorrow with his
Nice.
wife, and he has 2 more kids.
Okay.
So we're gonna be with them all weekend. So it should
How
be
how
good.
old are they?
Oh, 5 and 4.
Oh, nice. They're right around Max
Yeah,
age. Oh, okay,
yeah.
cool, cool. That'll be fun then. How long is he in town for?
Till Monday.
There you go.
Yeah, so we'll have a
That's
long
pretty good.
weekend.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna take them out to Union Station, go to Science City for the kids.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they'll love that.
Christmas lights. Polar Express is going to be playing at AMC Saturday, so we're going to go see that. Yeah, it should be a good weekend, man. So,
Good. Good.
but
Good. Good.
yeah,
Good.
let's get into our topic. So we're going to talk about setting New Year's resolutions and
Mhm.
how to follow through. I think we all have set a resolution at one point in our lives and just train wreck, fire, crash within the first week of the year.
Mhm.
And I think it's good to set good goals, attainable goals, maybe some goals that aren't attainable, but they're so far fetched that even if you don't get it done, you still did something good. And kind of going from there. So, you want me to start or you want to go?
Well, I said a question that we didn't talk about prior to hopping on here, but I just thought it'd be interesting. Do you have any resolutions that you've set before that you failed on? Because I mean, most people fail a lot of their New Year's resolutions for one reason or another. Have you ever set one that you didn't stick to? I'm sure that everybody has.
Yeah, I think I had one where I wanted to lose weight, you know what I mean, get shredded, and I didn't do that. I had one this year. I had a goal to save a certain amount of money.
Mhm.
I'm not going to say the amount because it's really no one's business.
Yeah.
It was a very lofty amount,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say I hit 50% because with the gym opening, I spent it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I hit about 50% of it, which
Mhm.
is still a pretty substantial amount. So
Yeah.
I was very happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've all done it, man.
Yeah. Mine last year, maybe it was the year before that, I don't read books. I listen to a lot more audiobooks and podcasts and things like that. I love the idea of reading. I love sitting down and actually read when I actually choose to, which is few and far between. Definitely not enough to read a book a month, which was what my goal was, just to read a book a month. And then I quickly turned that into, all right, I'm going to try to listen to an audiobook a month. And that helped. I mean, I was able to do that. So I think that was this year. And so I think I ended up getting through like 7 or 8 books, including the audiobooks, and maybe only finished actually reading 1 or 2 of them. The long flights to Europe helped me knock out some of
Bro,
those,
my
but
resolution would have
it's
been like
awful.
one book this year.
That and
I'm
honestly,
so
I should
bad.
have.
Yeah.
I should have said 6. I was like, I don't even think I ever finished a book like in high school that we were supposed to read. I would skim through, get enough information out of it that I could, BS the test or whatever the case was.
One time I did a book report on Harry Potter the movie
Of course.
because I didn't want to read the
Everybody
book.
did that. Yeah, elementary school or early middle school. I was definitely
Yeah.
doing that. Yeah, definitely. But okay, cool. So talking about New Year's resolutions. So start off. Obviously, we just start off with that. But I think it's important that we set clear goals and attainable goals. Like you said, we want to set stretch goals. We want to have some lofty ones on there as well that hopefully our attainable goals kind of feed into to move us into that. But setting something that you can actually reach that's feasible. Reading 12 books for myself when I have never really read more than 1 or 2 actually complete books without skipping a piece of it. That wasn't a really attainable goal for myself, I don't think.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty lofty. But I
Yeah.
mean, you did read or listen to a couple.
Yeah.
But like you said, that was for reading.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of people, they get so caught up on New Year's resolutions that they have to be fitness based. And
Yeah.
that's not really the thing. You can lose weight, you can gain weight, you can step on stage. But let's look at some of the others, like reading the books, saving money.
Mhm.
What if it's setting clear emotional boundaries and
I love
not
that.
letting people walk all over you or be their soundboard, or
Mhm.
a lot of people like to take other people's problems and make them their own.
Yeah.
So I think we can use resolutions to be very good self improvement,
Mhm.
but it can be mental, it can be physical, it can
Mhm.
be financial,
Could be
um,
relationships.
relationship wise. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this for my wife or this for
Mhm.
my husband. Last year I think also mine was like, or 2 years ago, I wanted to get a Tundra. That was like my dream.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I got it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, but I think when it comes down to that, we need to figure out what you want to do, and you need to figure out the reason behind it. And then
Mhm.
you need to try to set a plan of action, because if you just go into it blindly, it's just going to fail. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yep.
If I go in and I try to get ready for a show without a plan, it's going to fail.
Yep.
If I go to the bank and I try to get a loan without a plan, I'm going to fail.
Mhm.
So what are you going to do to set yourself up to succeed, or at least come damn close? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We need to have actionable steps to it. So, anytime I'm setting a goal, whether it's a 5 year goal or in this situation maybe a 1 year goal, whatever the case is, I look at, okay, where do I want to be at in 12 months, and then where do I need to be at in 6 months to be able to be there in 12 months, and then continue working backwards. Where I need to be at in 3 months, and what do I need to be doing day one come New Year's? Ideally, what could I be doing now to pave the way for a smoother start come January anyway? And start doing some of that work. So again, what are the clear actionable steps? Now, this is like what I know you and I do with our clients whenever we onboard them, is that, okay, here's our goal, whether it's a short-term goal, long-term goal. Let's work back and let's think about what are the daily actions that we can do that need to be aligned with that. I also
Yep.
like to look at goals as like, I want to be this type of person. What does this type of person do? And then what are they doing on a consistent basis? And that's what I need to try to emulate or try to figure out how to merge that into kind of my lifestyle so I can live that sustainably.
100%. Yeah. And one of my favorite stats that I ever read is people who start their resolution before January are 75% more likely to follow through, because you're not procrastinating, you're getting started.
Mm-hmm.
You're not binging out for a week and a half and then,
Yeah.
January 1, I'm going to be different. They start saving
Yeah.
money. They start cutting the toxic people out of their lives to
Mm-hmm.
be happier. They start taking on other people's problems. That shit's huge. And the sooner you
Yeah.
start, the better you're going to be with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I also think that people kind of sometimes will just kind of pull out resolutions that just make sense, that sound good, maybe they've heard before. And I think something that people should do more of is, what has made you more sad this year? What have you spent more
Mm-hmm.
time stressed about or focused on that's maybe a negative in your life? Like you said, it could be relationships, could be your mental health, it could be anything. I think that is why fitness is generally a big one, though, is because people are not happy with their energy. They're not confident in what they're doing. They're not happy about their daily actions. They might be happy doing those actions, like in the middle of binge watching 8 hours of Netflix. It feels good. We all enjoy doing that. But ultimately, the next day, if we haven't been doing anything positive for ourselves, we feel bad about that. And so I think
Yep.
that is why a lot of people go more towards the health route, is because that is something that's on people's mind a whole lot. And
Yeah.
honestly, it should be. We don't want it to be.
In today's world, it
Um,
needs to be.
yeah, exactly. We don't want it to be debilitating. We don't want this to creep and really mess up our mental health, but it will if we're not taking care of ourselves and we're not filling our cup with positive things. We constantly are doing negative things that, again, feel good in the moment, but don't feel good tomorrow. They don't feel good a week from now. We're not happy about what we've been doing.
Yeah. And just, I mean, you need to just look yourself in the mirror and really just, are your excuses bullshit? Are they good? You know what I mean? Are they feasible?
Yeah.
Because you ever notice the people that don't have time to work out always have the best Netflix show suggestions?
Oh, they're so quick with those.
They're so quick. Oh, I don't have time for this. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking about, have you watched this show? Have you watched this show?
Yeah.
Have you watched this show?
Yeah.
Seems like you watch a lot of TV, so you probably have the time to do
Probably the
this.
time. Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
go ahead. You're good.
Oh no, I was going to say. I think another thing that is smart, and this is what I should have did with the reading the book type of thing. But instead of saying start with those bigger things, let's start smaller. So okay, we want to lose X amount of weight. We want to just make fitness part of our life. We want to eat healthier foods and stuff like that. We don't need to go all or nothing. And that's, I think, the reason why people burn out by February or by March is because we think we have to get to the gym 5 or 6 times a week. We have to never eat sugar or carbs, or let's cut out bread completely from our life. And let's just go again, all or nothing in this situation and toss everything out the window and just focus on this stuff. Well, that doesn't work with what you've been doing. And now you're being so restrictive that you're going to burn out at some point because there's no freedom with it. So I think if you're starting at 0 and you've been doing 0 workouts every week for the past couple of months, don't go into it thinking I'm going to hit the gym 5 days a week. Because even if you show up 5 days a week, you're going to be so damn sore that you can't make it the 5th day. And then you're like, well, my goal was 5. I only got 4. I might as well just say I'll do 0 next week. So start easier than that. Don't start with 5 days a week. Don't start with I'm going to be perfect on my diet and never eat sugar the next 2 months. Let's just start making gradual cuts from it. If you're used to drinking 3 pops a day, maybe don't go to 0 on January 1st. Now, some people, their mindset,
or maybe change those 3 pops to diet.
Exactly. Just change that one. Maybe cut it down to 2. Again, just small incremental things. And those are your actionable steps that, if you do that for the first month, if you just gradually take away just a little bit, or you gradually add a little bit onto it, once you get to February, like, okay, damn, I stuck to those goals. And that's fulfilling, and you feel confident about yourself. Your self-efficacy goes way up because you know that you set these goals, even if they were small goals, you crushed every single one of them because they were attainable. And then we can add on to it. So now going from 2 workouts a week to 3 workouts a week isn't that big of a stretch because you've been doing it consistently for a month.
Yep. Now, I think those are great. And, I think that kind of covers the whole fitness thing. So if we're looking at something like, let's say that you have a financial goal. Now, I'm not a financial wizard here, guys, but like some of the best things that you could do is my sister did the $5 challenge, where every time you pay with cash and you get a $5 back, you get a 5 back. It doesn't matter if your change is $20 and you get all 5s. If your change is $7 and you get 1 5, you know what I mean? You put it in a shoebox or a jar and you don't touch it until the end of the year. I think she did that, dude. She had like almost $1,000. I mean,
that's wild.
It was something crazy.
And if you don't use cash, you can always use I've seen that Acorn app or Acorns app or whatever.
Yeah, the Acorns app.
If you spend $5.55, then the other 45 cents goes straight into, it's invested or whatever the case is, or into savings account, whatever it looks like.
Yeah, or if you budget and you know that, let's say you have $500 left over for the month as like free money. Okay, well, let's start with like putting maybe $100 to $150 of that back, or 50% of it back. Those little small things add up. Like I remember when Holly was working for me full time when I first hired a trainer, I was paying her 50% of her sessions, which is a decent rate. So, but I would just count the money I made off of her as like part of my income. And then shutdown happened. And now we were fine during the shutdown. We were very blessed to be in a position that we were okay. But then we started buying equipment and putting back money for the gym. And because we opened the first gym in 2020. And I was like, son of a bitch. Like when I looked back on it, if I would have started taking my half of her salary that I made from her by giving her clients and using the name and the insurance and all that, I would have already had for how much it costs to open the gym, I would have had all of that already saved. And it just made me realize how stupid I was with my money.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off. And ever since then, I've looked at it differently.
I know. Yeah. Well, it's good that you could be reflective of it though, and then make that adjustment. That's the other key with all this stuff, is just being reflective on it. So I think that's definitely important. So, the kind of the next thing is, and you kind of touch on this, but we haven't really dove into it, is recognizing the why. Like, why is this important to me that I reach this goal? How will my life be improved by reaching this goal? How will my life suffer if I don't reach this goal? What will happen if I don't reach this goal? And really answering those questions. And I think, I think it's important to actually write this stuff down as well and be more thoughtful, almost kind of journal some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I keep Excel sheets and what I do every single year, and I look forward to it. So probably right after Christmas, before New Year's, I'm going to sit down and I create a spreadsheet, and I do, January, I set columns up January all the way through December. And then on the left-hand side, I'll write down what my goals are. And so some things are like, I've got a friend group from high school and college that I want to see them once a month. And so that I put that on there, that every single month. And then I like being able to go on there at the end of each month when I go do my budgeting and stuff for the month, is be like, okay, I was able to do this. Or, oh shit, we didn't get together. Let's try to do that next month. I do the same thing for my parents. I want to get together with them at least once a month for a dinner or breakfast or a movie, or just something, some sort of quality time like that, that even though I would like to do it more often than that, if I can only do it once a month, I'm very, very stoked with that. And then same thing with the budget, situation. Like I want to have X amount saved by the end of the year. So what do I need to do, leading up to that stuff to be able to do that. So I like kind of setting that out, and I look at that. Really, like I said, at the end of every single month, I try to go reflect on that stuff. Some of that stuff, it might not be able to cross off till the very, very end of the year. Some of that stuff I can cross off kind of every single month type of situation. So I like doing that. And then again, I do that in all realms. I'm thinking about my family, thinking about friends. I'm thinking about financial, thinking about health and fitness. I'll put on there, I want to do a show this year. Okay. So that's going to be on there, and that's going to be a goal that I try to reach and crush. So I think that's all really important, but also understanding that why are these things important to me to be able to do this? Seeing my family once a month, that's important to me because life is short, and you don't know what next week is going to hold. You don't know what tomorrow is going to hold. So taking advantage of those times and being grateful for them. And then everything else, especially if we're coming back to health and fitness, it's why is losing 30 pounds important to you? What's going to be better about your life by dropping that 30 pounds? And more importantly, the habits that it takes to build or to lose that 30 pounds, why are those habits going to make me feel better? I'm getting out in the sunlight and walking every day. That's helped me lose that weight, but also it's helping with, putting me in parasympathetic mode, and it's allowing me to be less stressed.
No, I like it. I think we've kind of hammered home like the fitness thing. To me, one of the most important, I guess, resolutions someone can make without telling you to what to do is taking stock of everything in your life, the people, your social media. Think of your life as real estate. What the people in your life, who is adding value to your real estate and who is subtracting value from your real estate, or think of it as a bank account, who is adding to your account and who's taking away from your account. So who are you spending the most on and who's depositing the most for you? And there's one thing I learned in life, that as you achieve new highs in life or whatever it may be, you kind of have to level up your life in all aspects. So there are some people who I still am friends with, but not at the level I used to be. And it's because I didn't need to distance myself, but I just couldn't talk to them because they didn't understand what I was going through. And it was just unrealistic. There was no way around it. So who is adding value to your life and who is taking away value? Who is making you happy and who is constantly stressing you out? It could be family members, it could be friends, it could be anybody, but some of those friends you need to cut ties with. Are you married and one of your best friends for 15 years is single, and they just want to party every weekend? They're constantly trying to get you to come out. Like, I'm not saying they're a bad person, but that's someone who's eventually going to cause issues in your relationship. And you need to realize that. Is someone constantly talking down to you, belittling you? Are they constantly taking from you and they only contact you when they need something? It's just a drag. You know what I mean? And it's like, is something on your Instagram or your Facebook constantly pissing you off when you read it or see it? Unfollow them, unfriend them. Like, only follow the shit that makes you happy. And I that's probably like my biggest piece of advice to someone. When I started doing that, dude, my life got so much easier. I had my circle, and that's my circle. And other than that, I don't need your friendship, and I don't mean that mean to anybody. But if you're not going to add value to my life, and I don't mean that by like, you can only talk to me if you're going to give me stuff. That's not what I mean. But like, it's a reciprocating friendship where I can come to you for stuff and you can come to me for stuff. That's value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've all had those friends that they just take and take and take and take and take. And it's like they give nothing in return. Why are you friends with them? It's just, it just makes you unhappy in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
It does. And I think that's really hard for people to kind of cut that out of their life. But I think it's very, very important too, because the longer the longer you stay in those relationships or those friendships, the longer you're going to feel trapped in those, and the longer you're and then it's going to be even harder to walk away. Just like with any other changes, the longer you stay with it, the harder it is to kind of walk away.
And it's not that you don't
Uh,
like the person, it's just
no, yeah.
it's making your life harder. Like
And
do you have one friend that you and your spouse constantly fight about? Okay, well, let's take an objective look. Is your spouse right? Do they
mhm,
have merit to what they're arguing? Or are they just being a controlling dick? Like
yeah,
there's
yeah,
differences there. You know what
there
I'm
definitely
saying?
is. There definitely is. And it doesn't mean you have to completely cut them out from your life, but it's just prioritizing them less, not letting
Yeah.
them affect your energy, affect your day. If it's convenient, fantastic. Um, but I like that. I like that mindset. And that's not necessarily a New Year's resolution. That's just, taking account for kind of where your life is and the people in
Yeah.
it and the energies that you're surrounding yourself with. And is that helping you move in a direction that you want to
Mhm.
get to, or is that holding you back and pulling you back?
Yeah. I mean, I've
Um,
seen firsthand where a couple's been together for like 8 years, and then a friend comes to town, an old friend, and they move to town. And the next thing you know, like the whole dynamic changes, and
yeah.
the relationship is toxic, and
Yeah.
they're breaking up within 6 months. Okay, the only thing that has changed is this friend.
Yeah.
So maybe you should cut the friend out. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. Well,
That's
I
why I'm
like it.
cutting.
I like it.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
cutting Marcus from my life.
Ah, damn it. Can we
He
at
always
least do
causes
can we at least
issues.
do these podcast calls?
Yeah, Nicole's always trying to touch me, so I'm like, I don't want to. No, I'm just kidding.
Uh
No, I saw Nicole the other day, and I didn't when we recorded, and I didn't know the grandma thing had happened, or maybe it
oh
was
yeah.
the day before, and I was like, hey, how
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm good. And she looked at me and I was like, well, I would hug you, but last time I hugged you, you cried. So I'm just gonna say, I hope everything's okay. And I walked away.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because she probably would have cried at that point as well.
Oh,
She
100%.
she
Yeah.
was
Cause
definitely on the verge of it.
I think I told you, like, I gave her a hug, like, probably like, I don't know, it's like a month and a half ago. And I forget
Yeah.
what had happened, but she started like crying. And I
Yeah.
was like, dude, I'm sorry. I was just trying to make you feel better. So
Yeah.
when
Yeah. Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
going on, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna say, hey, I hope you're okay. And I'm gonna walk away because I don't want to
Yeah.
make you cry.
Yeah. Good call. Because then whatever you were doing, you would have to stop for about 20 minutes to hear about it, which isn't a
Yeah.
bad thing. But
Which I would have
um,
been more than happy to
of
do, but
course, of
I didn't
course,
want
of
her to put her
course.
through it.
That's funny though. I think she was able to talk to Holly about it a little bit that day though. So that was good for her to kind of get a dump some of that on there as well. But honestly, since you brought that up though, is that and not even in the case of her losing her grandma, that definitely makes sense. But some people they just want to dump on you all of their life issues and their stresses and their problems, but then they might not be there for you when you need to do that, when you need to voice those concerns. Or maybe they just see your hangout sesh as a time to just dump on you and unload on you. Now you've got to digest that energy. They feel better because they were able to dump, but now you're constantly having to go handle their stresses, and that's not a two-way relationship either, and they're using
No.
you and they're sucking your own energy, and
Yep.
it's taken away from your happiness when that's happening as well. And so you need a better balance with that. So if you have a person like that is just constant negativity, and more importantly, if they're doing something about whatever their struggles are, then fantastic. Then you can be there to support them. But if they just want to continue to complain about the same shit they've been complaining about
And
and
do
they're doing
nothing to fix
nothing,
it.
and I think that's one of my biggest pet peeves with really anybody, is if you're having these issues with it, stop complaining until you're ready to actually make a change with it. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
about it for 6 months. If your stomach hurts or if you're tired or whatever the case is, like do something to change it. Otherwise, I don't want to hear about it. I'm here to give you solutions. Now let's go put those solutions to work.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think we've all had those clients that like, your in-person clients that your entire session for like 6 months in a row, they just complain about their spouse. And it's like,
yeah.
what are you doing to fix it? Have you talked to them?
Are you
No.
communicating?
Or
Yeah.
I'm not losing weight. Well, are you following your plan? No.
Yeah.
Okay, then shut up.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you have no room to
There,
complain. You're
there's
not
a
doing
there's
what
a
you need to
reason
do.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a
It's
client and I always give him shit, but um I train him 3 days a week and he's like, I want to be jacked. I want to be big. Do I look smaller? Do I look bigger? And like always get him shit. And I'm like, Dave, you don't follow a diet. And I'm like, don't complain to me
is he gonna
about
listen to
feeling.
this?
No, I don't know. I told him I would talk about him,
There you go.
but
Good.
I'll tell him to his face. I'm like, don't complain to
Yeah.
me that
Yeah.
you feel fat
Yeah.
when you had chimichangas and pizza all weekend.
Yeah, dude. And I'm gonna put you on blast on the podcast.
Yeah, I put him on blast to his face. I get him
I know.
all
I
the
love
time.
that. I love that.
Like he'll be like, "Do I look small?" I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, I
But I
don't look.
mean,
He
To
came back
that
from
point though, to that point, you got all these goals though, and then you're constantly working against these goals.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear about these if you're going to continue the same behavior that's allowed or that's keeping you from reaching those.
Yeah. Nope. You got to be. We're there for our clients, but sometimes our clients need to help themselves, and that's the same thing when relationships and girls try to fix guys, which is mostly the case.
Yeah.
You don't ever see a guy really trying to fix a girl. I feel like unless
I don't.
I used to work with a guy that tried to save all the strippers. That was exhilarating.
That's a different
those stories,
approach,
but you can't make someone change. They have to want to change for themselves.
True. Yeah.
I'm a completely different person. I'm sure you're different from when you, Nicole, met. We changed because we wanted to be who we are now for them.
Yep.
They have to be ready to change themselves. I can't make you shove, fruit and chicken and rice and beef in your mouth. You have to be ready to do it. I can't take the spoon of chimichanga out of your mouth. You have to be ready to do it. It's just that's really what it is.
100%. Yeah, friends. So set some clear, attainable goals. Maybe set some lofty goals on top of those, but reflect on where you're at now and what's actually feasible. What could you actually do the first week of January, and that you can 100% know that you're going to execute, and start there. And if you do bonus work, if you get in a third workout, even though you only said 2, fantastic. If you save an extra $50, even though you said you're only save 100, whatever the case is, then fantastic. That's a bonus $50 that you saved, or whatever the case is. Start small and then gradually progressive overload to get there.
Yeah, friends. I feel like we were Mr. Rogers there for a second. I liked it.
A little bit.
Marcus, you were just the nicest person I've ever met. And I am such a douche. And that's why we meshed so well.
I don't think so. Yeah. You got to give yourself some credit. Well, anyway, friends, we also wanted to keep this a shorter podcast for you. So
yes, like, subscribe, tell a friend, share it out.
Definitely subscribe. Have those auto downloads on. So Monday morning on your drive to work or doing your morning cardio, whatever it is that you're doing on Monday mornings, it's already on your phone and ready to go.
DM us. Tell us we're stupid. Tell us we're annoying. Tell us what you want to hear. Tell Marcus he's ugly so his head isn't so big. Tell me I'm fat so I'll get on the step mill.
Do tell us what some different topics that you guys want to hear about as well, though.
Yes.
If you're listening, we want to please you, and we want to talk about the things that's on your mind as well. So help us out with that, and we'll help you out with whatever it is that you need. Let's go, friends. All right. Caleb, have a great rest of the week. Everybody that's listening, have a fantastic start to your week. What is it? Is today Wednesday? Today's Wednesday. Oh, but we'll release on Monday. Yeah. You guys crushed the week. Last week before Christmas. So get your shopping done. Let us know how we can help in any way, shape, or form, whether that be relationship, food, fitness, family. We're here. All of it. All right, brother. I will talk to you later. Everybody else have a good week. Bro. Have a good night. Bye. See you, man.